the wonderful state of New York and their communist government, who has nothing better to do, has introduced recently a new bill, S9225, that is going to basically ban all Glocks and other semi-automatic weapons that are convertible pistols, meaning you could put Glock switches on these and turn it into a full auto gun.
I mean, you can make any gun fully auto if you want.
Exactly. And that's the thing. And that's where they don't specify Glock specifically in the text of the bill. They just say any semi-automatic weapon that's convertible, a convertible pistol that can be converted into.
I mean, this is going to go right down the same thing. It's unconstitutional.
Right. It is.
I mean,
but it's like we've always said. The people that are putting the Glock switches, and this is pretty much what this is meant to stop, is the Glock switches. The people that are putting Glock switches on Glocks probably don't legally own that Glock, nor should they probably own a gun at all.
Yeah.
And then the fact that they own the Glock switch, that is illegal.
Yep.
And then turning it into a fully auto firearm, that's illegal. So it's already illegal to do that stuff, yet they don't follow the laws.
so why do you think they're going to follow this?
Exactly. They've somehow gotten a gun on the black market, wherever they got to, illegally. So how is this going to stop that? Because they don't follow those laws anyway. So how is a new law banning that specific type of gun going to stop that violence or stop them from doing anything?
It's not.
They're going to see this and be like, oh, well, I can't have a Glock anymore, so we're going to get rid of our Glocks, or maybe we'll just get a SIG and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
No.
They're going to keep getting them.
This is just going to hurt your everyday law-abiding citizen.
Yep.
And it's funny, in the entire text, it specifically states that this does not apply to police, any type of law enforcement, public safety cops, stuff like that, and military. So all those people can still own the Glocks. It's just us that are trying to defend ourselves or want to go have fun shooting these guns, whatever you want to do, and legally doing it, going through the proper channels. We can't own them because of these bad apples that aren't following the laws anyway.
Always takes that one person to ruin everything.
You know what? New York's already got the most ridiculous laws, and we'll touch about another how this affected somebody else. But I hope this passes. You know what? The Democrats of New York want this. Go ahead, pass this. See what happens.
I mean,
that's all I gotta say.
Look at. I mean, most Democrat states, all they want to do is take power, and they don't read the Constitution. And a lot of you Americans probably should go back and reread it and understand that the Constitution's there to protect you from the government. I don't know how many times people need to hear that, but the Constitution's not for the government to use against you. It's for you to use against the government. That's what it's for. Reread it.
Yep. Yeah. So this, I hope, I hope it doesn't pass, but part of me wants it to, and they'll see this isn't going to stop anything. Yeah, it's going to stop the gun sales of these to the law-abiding citizens, and then you obviously can't own these. You can't transfer them. Basically, they ban them completely. And so the people that own these, I mean, it's going to suck for you. But it's just going to show they're still going to have people that are committing these crimes with these Glock switches just because they introduced this bill. And Chris and I, if we lived in New York, we're not going to get a Glock switch. I want no part of that. No. I mean, it would be fun, but I know it's illegal, and I don't want to get in trouble and go to jail.
Like a lot of these kids, they don't know how to hold a gun properly anyway, so guess what? They're most likely going to kill a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Because of the recoil on it, and they're not used to it.
Yeah, you shoot it, and it's going to go like this.
Yeah, you're going to get sky shoot.
It's one thing to have a full auto AR, which is still going to do the same thing, but at least you have a brace.
Yeah, you can shoulder
like a third point of contact to control that, whereas they're going to hold it like this. Even if they hold it right up, it's going to go and spray everywhere. Yeah. And because of those assholes, New York wants to ban the most popular gun. Fight me on that. Probably the most popular gun.
I guarantee it probably is.
Since 1980s. Yeah. And basically what they want to do is they're going back to the manufacturer saying that because they made it easily modified to add these on there, that's why they're going after the manufacturer. Glock had no idea that people were going to 3D print these Glock switches back in the 80s when they invented this.
I mean, look at technology. It's evolving constantly. It's hard to keep up sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, if they're going to do this, then they're going to start going after your First Amendment rights, which they kind of are with Facebook and YouTube and their policies, and you have to follow, and you can't say this, can't say that. So they're already trying to take away your First Amendment. Now they're trying to take away your Second Amendment. And it just continues and continues. And eventually they're going to take away a lot more, and people don't realize that.
Yes. So if you live in the state of New York, this was introduced on May 7th of 24, and it was published by a Democrat, Senator Murray, M-Y-R-I-E.
I don't know.
So if you know who that person is, they need to get voted out of that job immediately. And then you guys need to write, because there is obviously a comment period that you can comment on this and be like, hey, this in no way is going to affect those people that own those Glock switches from getting a Glock and doing what they're going to do with it. It's not. And not only are you going to hurt the people in New York that buys this, but also you're going to hurt, Glock as a company, the workers that are there. And then what I see is now, guess who is going to see this bill and kind of make their own version of it?
Every other Democratic state.
Exactly. And then the feds are going to do the same thing. The ATF is probably going to be like, oh, what can we do? What final rule can we do to make it to where...
The problem is it's still going to have to go to your Supreme Court, and it's going to get ruled out because it's unconstitutional.
But there's that whole time frame where it is a final rule that's in effect, and there's that gray area. It's like, well...
But they don't even know their own rules, so
yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, we got several podcasts on all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically any convertible pistol is what it says. And it means any semi-automatic pistol that can be converted into a machine gun solely by the installation or attachment of a pistol converter, which is a Glock switch is what they're referring to. It doesn't specifically state a Glock switch or Glock, but that's what they're obviously meaning.
I mean, technically any gun can be converted to a fully auto based on triggers and shears and pins.
Right.
So...
And police and military can still have guns, have the Glocks. Guess what? Not all cops are good.
Pretty sure. Who won the contract? Wasn't it Glock? No, it was SIG won the military contract.
Yes. But a lot of police departments...
Yeah, they use Glock.
Just
about everyone does.
Yes. So, I mean, they could probably, get a Glock switch, throw it on there. Not a problem because they're,
The problem is, 3D printing has become super popular. It's pretty reliable, pretty cheap to do. It doesn't take a genius to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you go buy a 3D printer for a couple $100 and then buy the right materials and put it together for $250. You could probably build one, which is sad, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
So, F you, Democratic government of New York City for doing this to the law-abiding citizens. Yeah. Check out the full-length episode of the Workbench After Hours podcast right here.